Welcome back. A Manitou Springs restaurant will have to pay up after the Colorado Department of Labor found they kept a server's tip money.
And this isn't the first time the restaurant had done this. Investigative reporter Patrick Nelson, he's been tracking this story for months. He's in studio with a follow-up tonight. Patrick.
Robin and Elizabeth, when we first met Andrea Schaus back in June, she told us her boss was cheating her out of her tip money. After months of investigation, she's now getting results. The state is now demanding her former employer pay more than $11,000 in wages and penalties as a result of willfully violating state labor laws. This summer, Andrea Schaus met with News 5 Investigates after leaving her job as a waitress at PJ Stagecoach Inn, where she was paid the tipped minimum wage of $8.08 an hour, less than the $11.10 state minimum wage. Earning the tipped wage, she says she was entitled to credit card tips she received during her shifts, but she showed us paperwork to back up her claims that something wasn't adding up on her paychecks.
I saved all of my shift reports, and I've always handwritten my credit card tips on the shift report, but I've also been saving my credit card report for that day. They took out $164.83 of my tips.
Over the span of 4 months, we've reached out to the owner of the restaurant, went to his home, and spoke with attorneys representing the business. But we're still waiting on an explanation for the missing tip money from Andrea's paychecks. In the meantime, we learned another employee made the same claims back in 2017, where the state ruled the restaurant owed him thousands of dollars in unpaid wages and penalties. That employee was Daniel Grepiotis.
What we made in tips, what should have been ours, and it was stolen from us, basically.
With Daniel's claim in mind, state investigators spent months looking into Andrea's wage complaint and just issued a 6-page ruling that reads in part, quote, despite the employer's knowledge of their legal obligation to pay employees tips required under the Wage Act and the wage order, the employer persisted in their practice and failed to pay the claimant all her earned tips. Therefore, the division finds the employer had knowledge of their obligations under Colorado law and violated it again. Hence, the division concludes that the violation was willful, end quote. According to the state's ruling, Andrea is owed more than $4,000 and the state is asking the restaurant to pay more than $7,000 in penalties. Andrea says it wasn't until she decided to talk with News 5 Investigates that she felt like her voice was really heard.
It was encouraging that somebody is listening to me. I am not crazy, because whenever I tried to mention something to any kind of manager or anything at Stagecoach, it's all justified.
Both Andrea and Daniel are still working to get the money the state says they are owed. They both hope waiters and waitresses making the tipped wage in Colorado will learn from their experiences, always keeping a close eye on paychecks.
I think that people just need to be aware and to follow the money trail a little bit better.
Save all your shift reports, your credit card reports, and just keep track of your own money.
And throughout this investigation, waiters and waitresses tell me if you are a customer at a restaurant, the best way to make sure they get the tip money that you leave is to tip in cash. Now, if you would like to see the full state ruling or want more information on how to file a wage complaint with the state, I've posted all that information on our website, KOAA.com. Always watching out for you, Patrick Nelson, News 5 Investigates.
Patrick, good stuff getting results. If you have a problem or issue you'd like our News 5 investigative team to look into, you can contact us anytime. Send us an email, news5investigates@KOAA.com.